What?
Guys, you know what this reminds me of?
What does it remind you of?
The Witch of Pungo.
The what? The Witch of Pungo.
How many witches do you know?
Lots of them.
Not shocked. Not shocked at all.
Okay.
Grace White Sherwood, born in 1660, was a farmer, healer, and midwife in Pungo, Princess Anne County in the colony of Virginia.
All right.
This area is currently known as Virginia Beach.
Oh. Whoa.
Spookiest place on earth.
Yeah. So that's a tourist destination, though, right?
Correct.
Whoa. That's fucking ridiculous.
Whoa. Okay.
Spooky bar after spooky bar. Guys, you have to think, okay, so like think of it this way. This is Daytona Beach, a major tourist attraction.
Yeah.
Look, I went to Daytona during the MTV Spring Break era.
No, you
I
didn't.
know terror.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah, I bet that haunts
you see
you.
Carmen
It
Electra?
does. It really does.
Spring break 1660.
1660. So, the start of Grace's life was very normal. She was born in Pungo and the daughter of a carpenter named John White. Very common names in the colonial times.
Yeah.
Sure.
She married at age 20 in 1680 to a farmer named James Sherwood, and her father gifted them 50 acres of land.
Damn. That's nice.
She had 3 sons with her husband, and when her father passed, they inherited the remainder of his estate. Nothing out of the ordinary was ever reported about her life up until 1698. Maybe it was because Grace was an herbalist and a lover of nature and animals, but she seemed very threatening to others in their community.
Oh, yeah. That's like fascist. Like,
Right? Terrible.
Yeah.
A woman who knows things and likes
Thank
things.
you. Terrifying.
Yeah.
If she
Awful.
knows things and she likes things, like
Especially
she's not to be trusted.
1698. Like,
Yeah.
come on.
Can't-
Did she know where her menstruation hut was?
Again, that's satire.
No, actually, that actually happens, and actually just recently
Kidding me?
happened
Really?
in India, where a woman was bit to death by a cobra because she was living in her menstruation hut.
Wow.
Yeah, they used to have
that's
like red tents for women on menstruation.
So weird.
And what's wrong with that? Nothing.
As long as you bring us some sandwiches or something.
Right? At least be properly provisioned for the
You make everything
menstruation
better.
hut.
And women get mad when men say, bring me a sandwich, but if you're in your menstruation hut, what's the first thing you're going to want? A sandwich.
Well, first of all, to leave me the fuck alone. So this is 1698. It's like less than 10 years after the Salem witch trials in Massachusetts. So Grace and her husband sued John and Jane Ginsburg and Anthony and Elizabeth Barnes for slander. The Gisburns had claimed that Grace had bewitched their pigs to death and bewitched...
I'm sorry, I can't get over the phrase.
That's-
bewitched their pigs to
That
death.
is an
Bewitched
actual
to
quote.
death.
They bewitched their pigs to
To
death.
death.
Is
That
that,
is amazing.
That is a
is that
strong
the actual
bewitchment.
quote from the court document? Or?
Yes.
Wow, really?
But pigs is spelled with 2 G's.
Yeah, pig, like with
They're
a Y,
gangsta.
probably.
Yeah.
My pigs.
P-Y-G-G.
And also bewitched their cotton crop because, allegedly, she could control the weather.
Awesome.
And Elizabeth Barnes, this is a different couple, testified, and this is a direct quote, Grace came to her one night and rode her and went out the keyhole or a crack of the door like a black cat.
Wait, what?
How
There's a
small
couple
are
of
the
things
cats
wrong with
they
that-
have?
that
It was
statement,
the
you know?
tiniest little cat.
And cat's also spelled with 2 T's.
Well,
Hopefully,
They got their
like
own
whoever
thing going on.
like court officiator was looked at this document and is like, "What the fuck? Pig, 2 G's on pigs? Like you're talking about keyholes and cats? Like get this shit out of my court. Like this isn't
maybe
a real
the
thing."
stenographer had a stutter.
She bewitched my pig.
To death. She got the gist of it though. Like we
Right.
know
And
that the
she
pigs
rode me
were
like a
bewitched
cat.
to death.
You never make fun of a stutterer to their face.
No.
Or also she doesn't know how to spell words.
There you go. 17th century Virginia. They probably weren't like exceptional spellers.
For sure.
Or now.
Yeah.
Zing! Take that, Virginia.
So both cases of defamation and slander were dismissed, and her husband was left to pay the court costs. So they didn't win any of these lawsuits
Okay,
and all the
good.
slander. So then, sadly, in 1701, 3 years later after these accusations, Grace's husband died, and then she never remarried. Shortly thereafter, in 1705, Grace was involved in another lawsuit. Again, it was this other couple. She sued Luke and Elizabeth Hill for assault and battery. As Grace described, Luke had beaten her to a great damage. Oh. She asked for £50, but was awarded only 20 shillings. So she
Why?
actually won this lawsuit. The other
really?
ones
Yeah,
they never
what was,
won.
did they say like what the cause of the altercation was?
No. However,
Did they just attack this old woman?
No, she wasn't old.
she was an old,
45.
yeah, she was about, yeah.
She 45 in the
Nice.
17th
Yeah.
century.
Nice.
Wait, stop everything. 45 isn't old?
No.
Yay!
Think about the Monty Python. Old woman, man.
Go ahead,
I'm sorry,
do
old
it.
man. I'm 37. I'm sorry.
I'm not old.
I'm 37. 45's not old, according to Monty Python.
Thank
This
you.
is 17th century Virginia. Like, what do you?
Yeah, they lived to like 12.
Yeah.
All right.
So, in no reports did it say exactly why he had beaten her, but she was only awarded 20 shillings in the lawsuit. But then the lawsuit backfired on her because then that same couple came back and then later charged her with witchcraft, which was a criminal offense.
So beating someone up, you get 20. Your penance is paying 20 shillings. Alleged witchcraft is a criminal offense. You got to come stand before like
Civil court, criminal court.
it's that OJ shit. It's like
The trial was delayed and delayed. Eventually, the county court impaneled a jury of women to search for Grace for witches' marks. And what are witches' marks? They are spots or nipple-like marks where a witch would suckle her familiar, an animal-like demon given to her by the devil.
Oh man, so there's a familiar added into
damn,
it.
this is rad. I didn't know.
So like
this.
skin tags.
Pretty much like skin tags. So if you unfortunately have one of those, you're a witch.
Okay.
Wow.
I am totally a witch.
So the women apparently have found 2 such marks, but the case did not go to trial right away. Being that this was just about 10 years after the Salem witch trials, which was very controversial, the county was trying to avoid such like conflict like that. So instead, they sent it to a higher court, yet it was returned because no one really wanted to deal with a court case like this after the Salem witch trials.
Yeah.
So the county investigated Grace's home, and eventually the justices ordered her to be tried in the water by ducking.
Ducking.
Yes.
Ducking.
Ducking.
No goosing.
Not
my
goosing.
God.
No ducking. Just no
Not
goosing. Just
swanning.
ducking. No swanning.
Ducking.
No duck goosing.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what is ducking?
So ducking is the act of tying a rope to the suspect's right thumb and left big toe, and a
right,
second rope around the left thumb and right big toe, and then tossed in the water.
Okay.
Okay, so you're basically bound and gagged
Yes.
and then thrown into a river?
Right.
Wow.
Just to see if something
Look at
happens.
this.
You should
gonna
know what
end
this
well.
is like. You should know what this
Yeah.
is like.
So if they sink, and hopefully rescued before they drown, they are innocent. If they do drown, it is said that they are vindicated in their next life and their name is cleared.
Good for them. Good for
Silver
them.
lining.
Angela, what religion is this based on? Is this Christianity? Is this baptism? What is this? Because like it has overthrows of baptism, right?
Virginia in the 17th century, or like
I would think Christianity,
early 18th
right?
century. That's going to be,
Protestants?
baptism is a subsect of.
Presbyterian? I mean,
No,
like,
that's going to be like strict, like Church of England. Even though Church of England is not that strict.
Yeah, I guess it is. But yeah, Protestant or whatever the hell they were before they came over.
it can be anything, I
Quakers.
guess. I
Quakers,
have no
shakers.
idea.
Shaking
but it's
bakers.
just, like
Midnight
what-
takers.
Is there any kind of like biblical passage that you know of, or is this just
Nothing.
like
This
are
is
they
just
just
what they
winging it?
They were literally like, you know what? If they float, they're a witch. If they sink, they're not. You
Well,
know,
yeah, gang
let's try it
mentality.
out. You
Wow.
know.
And
again,
you gotta have a black and white on this. You
Yeah.
know, I mean, witch or no witch. Let's find out.
But I mean, there's like a lose-lose there because like
Yeah.
if you float, yay, you're living, but
We're
then
gonna
you're
burn you
a
at the
witch.
stake.
Yeah.
But you forgot one thing. They're women.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there is no win.
Right.
Truly.
Yep.
Can't do anything
Never
right.
has been.
That's true.
Hashtag real.
The ducking of Grace Sherwood was delayed a few times because of rain, because she can control the weather, right?
Right. Oh,
Right.
yeah, that's true. Yeah, she can.
How would that affect a ducking?
I don't really, that doesn't make any sense
Yeah, it
because like
doesn't-
she's going
Lightning?
underwater anyway, I guess for anyone who wants to watch. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
Well,
yeah.
if she knew the future, she'd have a drought for a few months before she knew it was going to happen. So then that
Water levels are
I guess they really
low.
wanted like the attendance to be high, so they wanted to make sure people could
It's
go.
all about clicks.
That makes the most sense.
She was postponing every week. She was like, "Oh, this ducking has been canceled due to inclement weather."
It's just like 2 weeks in advance. Like, no, that'll be also canceled due to inclement weather. I have a feeling. I don't know.
Well, eventually on July 10th in 1706, Grace was ducked in the Lynnhaven River, which is now known as Witch Duck Point.
Whoa, that's cool. Really?
So-
In Virginia?
Yes.
Wow, that's cool. Which duck point?
She was bound, as I said, with her fingers and toes all tied
The
together.
finger and toe thing cracks me out.
I
That's just
know.
really
Very-
bizarre.
it's very specific.
It really is, yeah.
Very specific. So she was bound and thrown from a boat, not from any kind of dock, from a boat.
Okay.
And
Was it like a booze cruise? Come on out, free shots until we throw off the witch.
woo! Unfortunately, but fortunately, she was able to untie herself and rise to the surface, proving to those present that she was, in fact, a witch.
Oh yeah, that's definitely witchcraft.
Because like instincts of like trying to save yourself obviously mean you're a witch,
Witchcraft.
right? Yeah.
Absolutely.
So I guess because of the controversy of Salem witch trials, they actually didn't burn her at the stake or hang her or anything. As punishment for her crime, Grace Sherwood spent 7 years in jail. That's it.
That's it.
That's it. And once released...
That's a long time, though.
It is a long time.
Especially when you only lived to 12.
Yeah, you're
Yeah, but
already
you're doing
45.
nothing. You did nothing wrong.
Anyway, when she was released, there were no more records of any other charges, and she apparently lived out the rest of her life peacefully and died at 80 years old.
Oh, shit.
Wow.
She totally was a witch.
Wow.
Damn.
Yeah.
Like,
Everyone else died at 4.
That's awesome. So
Maybe she was a witch, you know?
She lived her entire life in tatters as a witch, and then she died ignominiously, and now no one remembers her, so that's great.
Well, historians believe that Grace Sherwood was the only woman ever accused and charged of witchcraft in Virginia. She was also described as being so beautiful that she attracted the men and possibly the women in the community. So was it witchcraft or just jealousy?
Yeah, that's actually
And
a
aren't
really
you
good
dying
point.
now to see a picture of her?
Yes.
Because it's
Yeah.
always interesting in different cultures to hear about the most beautiful man or woman of a culture, and you see the picture, you're like, really?
Really? Yeah.
This guy? That was the one?
I feel like that's like a failed John Hughes movie from the 80s.
Man, this guy looks like Ducky. You gotta be shitting me. You have to be
Because
shitting
it was
me.
called Ducking, and Ducky...
So on July 10th in 2006, exactly 300 years after her ducking trial, Virginia Governor Timothy Kane pardoned Grace Sherwood and restored her good name. Which goes to show you that Tim Kaine really loves to back bad girls like the Witch of Pungo and most recently, the notorious HRC.
Oh, shit!
Notorious HRC.
Drop the mic.
And in 2007, a statue depicting her was erected in Virginia Beach near the courthouse where she was tried. The statue is of her with a raccoon alongside her to represent her love of animals and with a basket of garlic and rosemary to symbolize her knowledge of herbal healing.
Delicious.
Ooh, rosemary.
garlic, and trash panda.
Yes.
Simon and Garfunkel did it right.
They really did.
You know, they really did.
And so a statue erected for a witch. That's you got to dig that in America.
That's pretty badass.
She was pardoned, you know?
You don't hear that often.
No.
Pretty much it's either witch, burned witch, or nothing else. That's about it. That's all
There
you
was
hear.
one time I was in Salem, Massachusetts, and they were unveiling a statue of Bewitched. Does that count?
No.
No.
Not at all. Wait, was it the TV show or the movie?
They were doing the original. Remember, they had the animation at the beginning of Bewitched in the
Right.
original TV show. So it was a statue in that sort of style, but it was in conjunction with the release of the Will Ferrell movie.
So it's tainted.
I mean, that community subsists on tourism. It needs it. It's a very small town.
Yeah, well.
Well, and all you're known for is burning witches. You know, it's not really a tourist destination on the map. Hey, let's go see where they burned all those women.
They had great tofutti.
Okay, well that's good.
Burning witches and tofutti.
What a good combination.
Hey guys, can I get out of the pool now?